Hi, it's me, Cheryl Lee. Welcome to Disgracefully Graceful, the show about staying fit, healthy, active, entertained and connected to the community as we age.
Activity start.
People on the way. Okay, we found a gentleman. Okay, we found a gentleman. Welcome to Disgracefully Graceful, the show about ageing disgracefully and not letting age be a barrier to doing anything that you want to do. Now, loneliness is more detrimental to our health as we age than even cigarette smoking. So keeping a support network around you and having friendships is really, really important. So volunteering is a great way to get out and meet new people. So today we're going to chat to the wonderful people at Support Act and go to one of their fabulous lunches and hear all about volunteering. We're with Carol, the Secretary Treasurer of Support Act, but you don't just volunteer for us, do you? You're a volunteer queen.
I'm a bit of a volunteer junkie. I've been volunteering for about 35 years with sporting clubs, primary schools, and for the last 12 months with Support Act. And I think with volunteering, you will always get more out of it than you put into it, no matter where it is with whatever you do.
Absolutely. We're going to have a great day today, aren't we, people?
Yeah!
We're here at the Support Act fundraising lunch, the Christmas one. I don't know if you could have guessed that. This is Jethro. You've been with Support Act for about 100 years.
Well, it feels that way sometimes. I think 15 years. David Day roped me into this, and it's the most worthwhile thing that I've probably ever done in my life. Every month we get to gather here at the Highway Hotel and also down at the British Working Men's Club for a second lunch. So we do 2 a month. It's extremely rewarding, full of great talent, and after all, it's the heart and the hand of the Australian music industry.
Oh, well said. I'm with Gary, Chairman of the committee and also Artist Liaison for Support Act South Australia.
Yes,
you too have been with Support Act forever.
Yeah, well, what's it, 9 years now since David Day died? And with him, when he started it, and I can't even remember that far back, but it's been an amazing journey and it's for a great cause. It's just sensational that we're helping so many people. And, you know, I don't think sometimes the committee realises how many people we help, because quite often they go straight to the national office to ask for help, or they'll come through me and then I go to the social worker who contacts them and takes over from there. So it's unique. It's not anything else like it in Australia, where we're helping people get back in the saddle and make money again, to support their families, to enjoy their craft of playing music. And I'm so thankful that we've got such a fantastic committee as well. We all work together, we're on the same page. We love doing what we're doing, and we love that we're helping the music industry Australia-wide.
And you get as much out of it as you put into it, don't you?
I do, because I still play, and I just love seeing all my friends playing and seeing new acts come along that we discover, and we all enjoy that. We all like seeing new people come along and show us how good they are, and there's so many people that are fantastic that we don't know about.
That's right. Thanks, Gary, Chairman of the Board.
Thank you.
And we couldn't put on these fabulous fundraising lunches each month without the great support of the Adelaide musical community. So Peter, you're one of our newest committee members. What made you join Support Act?
Well, I've always had a strong interest in local music, and I was pleasantly surprised to get a telephone call asking me to be on the committee earlier in the year, and And from my point of view, that's fantastic because I get to come to these lunches every month and get to see South Australian musicians who've made a mark, and it's also mixing with good people for a good cause. And so, I'm pleased to have been invited on the committee.
And you wrote a fabulous book about South Australian music.
I did, shameless plug.
Yeah, quick.
Rockin' the City of Churches. If you happen to be in your local bookstore and you want to buy a copy, greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, here we are. It's Christmas. Well, it may not be where you're watching, but it's Christmas where we are today, and it's a pretty exciting day. This is our Christmas lunch for Support Act, and Support Act is sort of what we're involved in. I've been involved with it since 2008, since David Day set the whole thing up, and it's an absolute pleasure to every month give the time, turn up, do a bit of work in the meantime, bit of research, etc. Find some interesting things to play on the big screen, get all the information up to date, get the raffle prizes collated and put on the screen, etc. All those things that go into making it a great day for great people who are the Support Act members, who support local music, who support the charity. We're all volunteering in a way.
So stick with it. It's going to be a great day. Another gentleman who needs no introduction from the Twilights, John Bywater.
Oh,
I stopped it up. Another gentleman who needs no introduction from the amazing 60s band, the Twilights, John Bywater. You too have been a long-term volunteer for Support Act South Australia.
Yeah, I can't remember how long I've been on the committee. It's more than 10 years, I think.
Too many sex, drugs and rock and roll. You've forgotten.
No, I don't sort of think about it. I just sort of do it, And then somebody says, "Oh, you've been doing that for a while." It's like, how long have I been playing bass? I don't know. I started when I was about 14, do the math.
Then we'll know how old you are.
Oh, yeah.
A gentleman never tells.
No, that's right. And I forget.
Thank you very much.
Just give your name.
Are you
Bob Williams, Bob. Thank you very much.
You didn't read the pamphlet, did you?
No,
You're in big trouble. Welcome back to Disgracefully Graceful. We're talking volunteering, and we are at Radio Adelaide today with Christina Hagger, aka Dr. Christina from Travelling Life. We both volunteer here at Radio Adelaide. We both get different things from our volunteering, and we both love it. So, Christina, just tell us, how long have you been with Radio Adelaide? What brought you to volunteering in a radio station, and what do you get out of it?
A lot from all. I've been volunteering at Radio Adelaide for 4 years, I think. And one of the things that appealed to me was that I have a research background, and I was wanting to see how community radio could help get information out in a nice, easy, digestible way, like this show, to a wider audience. I also thought that when you're in transition to retirement, it's a good opportunity to be learning new skills and learning new worlds, and radio.
It's a learning curve.
Steep learning curve, all of that. And so there's an excitement about what we're doing, because it is an exciting world, isn't it? I mean, you're far ahead of me, but it is one where you're learning all the time. There's excitement, there's challenge, there's curiosity. And I think all of those things are, do you reckon, are really important in keeping us
Oh, absolutely. We've had this discussion before about loneliness being more detrimental to your health than cigarette smoking as we age. And volunteering in all its forms, but particularly at a radio station, gives you all of those benefits. It keeps you connected to your community, lets you meet people, lets you learn, keeps you getting up in the morning, all of those good things.
Look, it's true. I think that because when you retire, you don't just lose a pay packet. You lose power, status, you lose your social connections, you lose your routines. So
in some senses, you lose your identity a little bit.
Well said. well said. So the more you can have, is it sidebars, the right way of looking at it? You're building other things that keep you going, but equally not just keeping you going, you're still contributing back to your wider community, because it's too easy to get insular.
Yes, that's right.
And that you just know your own little bubble, and that might be a lovely little bubble, but it's too insular.
Over time, it can be detrimental.
It can become like concrete, I think. And if you're open, because you're working in a community radio station, as you know, you see so many different people, so many different points of view, all of which is exactly what we want, because it keeps you thinking different ways of thinking. Plus, it's a nice opportunity to contribute back, because by the time you get to a certain age, hopefully, you've got a few skills and you can feed them back. Feed them back, and I think that's one of the things I thought was good, and keep learning at the same time.
And we also have discussed in the past about the importance of keeping everybody active and connected, because they become more valuable and less of a burden on the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
Healthcare-wise, all of those things.
All of those things, because you sometimes hear ageing and the success we have in staying alive for longer. Some people describe it as a burden and a challenge, and I think it should be the reverse. I think it's a great triumph and it should be celebrated, but it's a case of take advantage of that time and do it in volunteering is a good way as any. I mean, there are many others, but this is certainly one way.
Well, the great thing about volunteering at a radio station is that it's not very physical. You don't have to have certain attributes. You can sit behind a desk, but that's the only thing. If you're a little bit shy about talking on the mic, there's plenty of other jobs here that you can do. You can help administratively, all sorts of ways that you can use your previous skills to help a radio station.
Absolutely. I remember coming to my first information meeting here, and it was a case of, walked in and the room was packed with people from uni student age up to, older than I am. So, and everyone was there, different skills, different interests, and how can we contribute? And I just remember it was the case of there are these opportunities, and you're right, they're not all behind mic. But equally, if you want to learn behind mic,
you can.
You can. Is it scary to start with?
Yes.
Very.
But lots of fun.
Lots of fun as well.
Well, we've had lots of fun. I've been interviewed on your show. You've been interviewed on my show. That's what community radio is all about.
It is. It definitely is.
Well, thank you so much for having a quick chat with us today about the benefits of volunteering. And if you can't think of anything else you'd like to do, come and join us at Radio Adelaide.
Absolutely.
As you know, as you age, loneliness and feeling disconnected from your community can be more damaging to your health than cigarette smoking. And one of the ways that you can feel valued and meet people is to volunteer. Today we're in Dulcie's, a beautiful op shop. You can see our gorgeous change room here, and we'll show you a little bit more of the shop a little later. But we're talking to Karen this morning, one of the beautiful volunteers here at Dulcie's. Thank you for chatting to us, Karen. How long have you been volunteering here, and what do you get? I know you give a lot, but you probably get a lot from the volunteering as well.
I started volunteering for Dulcie's at the start of the year during Fringe, actually. Amanda put a call out on social media, so I've been following Dulcie's with the bus for a while on social media, and she put a call out there was a change in stock, and she desperately needed some ironers and steamers, and I thought, why not? I'm on leave from my job this year, and initially you think, it's going to be a bit like a holiday. But if you're slightly extroverted, like me, within a couple of months you're seeking some company, and I am also a carer for my daughter, but I did have some spare time on my hands. customers, and I love the whole concept of sustainability and things like that. So I believe in the philosophy behind Dulcie's very much so, but I also enjoy, being the age I am, it's like a huge memory, a trip down memory lane, the things that come into the store, etc. So I started in about February,
So beautiful.
Long answer.
So beautiful. So Karen, you said you were a carer for your daughter.
Yes.
So do you find coming and volunteering gives you a little bit of respite from the day-to-day?
It probably gives her more respite. People bring in donations, usually, generally directly to us, and often I've been the person who then receives that donations, and I find, but I just don't know how to say this succinctly.
That's all right.
But other people that often they like to tell a story about what they're bringing in, and I find that I actually love that, and hearing the story behind the clothes that they're bringing in.
Because sometimes it may be very difficult. It may be their mother's clothing or an aunt.
Exactly.
And very, very hard for them.
And something else I've also experienced is there are people that might be, in their 70s and they're downsizing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are or right-sizing, and it's emotional for them to part with things that they just can't keep anymore because they don't have the space for it, and it means a lot to them. You can sense that they're giving it to not just anyone, but to a store, for want of a better word, that will appreciate.
Yes, who really cares and will love the clothing.
Or their hats, their...
Sometimes even their wedding gloves and really sentimental things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and it's thank you for all the work that you do. It really, really is important, and thank you on behalf of everybody who's brought their favourite things into Dulcie's and known that they're going into great hands. Thanks, Karen. We're here at Dulcie's with store manager Brittany. What a beautiful store, Brittany. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We've already seen some gorgeous customers come in this morning and, give their beautifully loved clothes. Tell us a little bit about the Dulcie's story.
So, Dulcie's focuses on a lot of things here. So one of the cool things that we do that sets us apart from other vintage and op shops is that we wash, mend, steam, iron every piece of clothing that comes through here, whether that's donations or things that we've sourced outside of that.
Hence the need for all the wonderful volunteers that you have here.
Exactly. So we have a whole flurry of volunteers that come through and do different things for the store. Some people really enjoy doing a task like steaming because it's repetitive and mindless sometimes. So they'll just sit there and steam away for us. There's some people that really love the restoration of vintage clothing. So for them, they'll take away a bag of mending, and in some cases things might be stained or have holes or damage at the bottom, and they might make it into like a short little dress for us. So cutting off the bottom piece and trying to rework it in a way where we can still use it and sell it, and it can be loved and it can make its way back out into the world and into somebody's closet and be loved for years to come. And then there's other volunteers that come in that have specific sets of skills which helps them us out the back essentially. So we've got some people that come in and sort through the jewellery for us because they have skills in that area, might mend some stuff, put things back on pearl chains, and yeah, and they'll card up jewellery for us, and yeah, and then we like it for our volunteers to do what they enjoy doing. So we try to find tasks for them that they will get enjoyment out of, so that they want to stay here and want to keep going against the world
and
of
they're
fast fashion.
fulfilled and they feel needed.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they've got a
purpose.
reason to get up every morning.
Totally.
And walk into this beautiful store. But so if anybody has those skills, mending or a love of ironing,
there's people. There are people. I've
people.
seen them. They like it. I'm a steaming lady myself, so I like to steam, but not iron. But there's ironers out there.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily need to have any particular skills to come and volunteer at Dulcie's, do they?
No, just a good attitude
and a love of
fashion. Vintage. So there's a lot of people that come here that say, oh, I don't know how I fit into a place like this. I'm like, everybody fits. So we'll just find that niche little area for you. People will try out lots of different tasks. There's always so much that needs to be done on the back end for us, which is great. We have some volunteers that will also work front of house and help with customers, which is always really nice. Somebody sat in front of the couch, I believe, and painstakingly sewed all these pieces kind of back together. So now it looks essentially brand new. So some customers will come in and they'll pick up this dress and they won't know, the hours that actually went back into restoring it. So it's really wonderful. We have a lady who loves taking things back to their former glory. So she'll put pieces in, she'll fix zippers, she'll do the embellishments for us, and it's amazing that this dress looks virtually new and it's so old.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful.
I've got a bit of a hype team behind us.
That's what volunteering is all about. Not only does Dulcie have the gift of their time, but I think Dulcie also gives a gift back to the volunteers as well.
I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you for joining us today on Disgracefully Graceful. Stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. And if you love your music, remember to watch Mega Music TV right here on Channel 44 on Thursday nights. Thank you for joining me today. You've been with Cheryl Lee on Disgracefully Graceful. Hope you can join me again next time when we can grow a little bit older, disgracefully, together again. We're going up. We do it on Tuesday. And we do it every week.